Hey, Adam, before we start,
Yeah.
I ran into this girl that used to date you, and she said you were really hot.
Wait, when was this? Are you just trying to make me feel good before the show?
Whatever.
That was my favorite.
Now I'm
thing
rattled. Who
that's
is she?
happened.
Does she still like me? I have to know.
Your turn.
So good.
Adam,
Oh my God. I'm
I think
rattled.
you're really, Adam, I think you're really hot. I do.
Scorpions Avenue.
Good luck, Adam.
Coming to you live from our houses in Los Angeles, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, headaches. The World Health Organization reports that half the world's adult population suffered from a serious headache in this past year. Now that Trump is out of office, that number may go down, but still, headaches are nothing to laugh about. Except, wait, we're a comedy show, that's a problem. See, even thinking about headaches is giving me a headache. With us tonight is Dr. Stephanie Nahas, director of the Headache Medicine Fellowship Program at Thomas Jefferson University. Don't take 2 aspirin and call her in the morning. Let's talk with this headache specialist right now and find out how to deal with that pain in the brain. Plus, Mailbag. Personal hygiene edition. Bonnie's showering with the mystery man. She's making guacamole in the back seat. Our listeners have suggestions for cleaning this show up. I'm Adam Felber, the man who tries to keep this show's conversational trigeminal nerve flowing smoothly so that it doesn't swell with excessive digressions and ultimately give our listeners topical headaches. And now, please welcome the woman whose conversational synapses always blow the circuitry, Paula Poundstone.
Hey, you guys. So
Welcome,
nice
Paula.
to be with you. Thank you very much. And thanks to tonight's house band, my oldest friend in the world, nobody, Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Jim Ross is back.
Actually, he's known as James Ross because he's a maestro. And it sounds fantastic, Jim James. And thank you so much for doing it.
A maestro
So-
now, but back in the day, he was the guy who would help you bag up your Monopoly game, right?
Bag up my Monopoly game? No.
Wasn't he your friend who, like, you'd have to pause your Monopoly game so you'd put everything in little bags?
No, that was my neighbor Foster Stroop. No,
Oh, sorry.
Jim and I used to, we've really known each other for such a long time. Every now and then I would challenge him to a fight. And one time I challenged him to a fight, and he was going to use we had metal trash cans, and he was going to use the trash can lids for a shield. And so I started to cry and ran home. I just,
Good story.
I was sensitive. I was very sensitive.
All right. So, Paula, are you ready for the book club?
Oh, I am. Are we going to
All
use?
right,
are we going to use Bob? What was it? Bob's rules again? What was that?
Robert's Rules of Order. Yeah, if you've studied Robert's Rules of Order, let's try to abide by them to the best of our ability. I want to say that because we don't
Bob's
always
rules.
get to the... Yes.
Bob's rules. Bob's rules. I want you to know
Bob's
Bob
rules.
is
And I'll
not the
call the
boss
meeting
of me.
I'll call the meeting to order in just a second. I just want to say this week we were tasked with reading chapters 29 through 34. And for those of you out there who were worried that this story was going to be a little slow, well, guess what? In those 5 chapters, we met the captain.
Woo!
And they had dinner. Well, 6 people had dinner. And that's it. And with that, let's call this meeting of the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone Book Club to order.
President Sushi. President Sushi, may I be recognized by the chair?
Did you just call me President Sous Vide or
No,
something?
I called you President Sushi because last week you were President Tempura.
Yeah, he's pro
No,
tempura.
I was President Pro Tem, Bonnie. We haven't even introduced you yet, and you're already confusing me. Ladies and gentlemen, from up there in the Simi Valley, this is Bonnie Burns. But let's start with old business. Is there any old business? Order.
Yeah, there's. What are you kidding me? Is there old business? Vandy Camp's beans. There's an old business.
Yeah, but for God's sake.
Been around forever, I'm telling you.
I mean, old business. Paula, do you have any report from the Treasury?
We are in the red.
Okay. What did you spend our money on?
Well, of course, I've been planning that trip to landlocked states for the book club as we're reading Moby Dick. A lot of landlocked states have contacted me wanting us to come there and share with them the bounty of Moby Dick, because they don't know what it's like to look out across the high seas. They don't know from crow's nests or whatever it was they perched themselves on. So I've been planning that trip, and of course that's really put us further in the red.
Yeah, I mean, I would wonder whether that is an appropriate use of book club funds for you to book trips around the country.
Tennessee
feels a little
begged
sketchy.
me. They begged me.
Yeah, but they begging you doesn't mean that you get to just run off and buy tickets on our dime.
Well, it's too late now. So
Okay.
Knoxville, Knoxville, ahoy!
Okay, Bonnie Burns in the Simi Valley, do you have any old business? And do you want to, and by the way, I will entertain any comments about the chapters 29 to 34 of Moby Dick.
Okay. President Sushi, I'm really glad you called on me because I really enjoyed these chapters. Once again, I was so impressed with Melville's writing. I wanted to ask the other members of the club, is anybody getting the correlation between Ahab and Trump and this business of, there's a place in these chapters where Melville writes, it's something about Ishmael saying there was the brains and the muscle, meaning that the white guys on the ship were like the ones that were in charge and calling the shots. And then the other people were like of color, they weren't as well educated, and they were doing all the work. And I couldn't help but think about, kind of how like Trump found this group of people he thought were susceptible, maybe not as well educated, to buying into his stuff that had him in charge. They did everything he wanted. The crew did everything Ahab wanted. And in the end, he caused their demise, and it destroyed the whole little village they'd created.
I think there's lots of similarities there. And the other thing is, do you know why Trump gave his speech at Cpac behind a podium?
Why is that?
No.
So nobody could see his ivory leg?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly correct. If you look carefully, watch it on C-SPAN again. If you look carefully, you can see it sort of slide out from behind the podium every so often. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think there are some similarities. So, you know what? I talked to somebody about this book the other day, and I was saying, there's some chapters that you really could do without that. It's just a very slow book. And you know what this guy told me? He said that this was before television, before radio. He said basically people were bored. So they would put up with chapters like that because they didn't have anything else to do.
So filler wasn't filler. It was to fill the time.
Yeah.
Right.
People were clamoring to get to that really lengthy chapter about, different kind of whales.
Right.
So that chapter was basically the 19th century version of Candy Crush. Just something to pass the time.
No, but Candy Crush has levels. You can challenge yourself.
All right,
yeah, that's right.
I'm a little bit upset that you know that much about Candy Crush.
Well, Bonnie now has the pandemic excuse, Paula.
Yeah.
She couldn't have been booking your shows anyway.
That was years ago.
Yeah. Oh,
but I wanted to
so
say
busy,
one other
so
thing.
much work.
I wanted to say one other thing about the symbolism. I thought that the fact that Ahab's leg was made out of the bone of a whale's from a whale's mouth.
Jawbone.
Was so symbolic, like, the theory was standing on the bone of a whale's mouth, like dominance. And yet, every time he moved, the whale was getting back at him because Ahab made this loud thud. So he also couldn't escape the dominance of the whale. And that he had that scar.
You're fantastic, Bonnie. I feel like Melville has found his audience finally.
No, but that also
Yeah.
Ahab
Boy,
had that scar that was like a crucifixion because he'd been like crucified by the whale. I mean, in that way, the writing and the brains behind the writing is really amazing. I did not read the chapters
You have
about the
really-
whales, about
You
the
went
science
deep,
of the
although I'd
whales.
have to say that Jesus' crucifixion scar was not down the side of his face.
Oh, I thought it was.
You've
What was the
you've
scar?
really thought this through.
No, wasn't that? No, I thought that was a cross. It was a cross on his cheek, right? That white, mysterious white scar.
Well, you know who can resolve this for us? It might be. You might be right. You know who can resolve this for us is up over in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah,
Tony Nita Hull.
She's Googling right now.
What
Tony,
am I
what's up with your take on these chapters of Moby Dick? I can't believe we're actually discussing the chapters. What did you get from it?
I thought we were still on old business, but that's fine. So I
wanted to move it along.
I got to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I didn't read this week. I did just Google though.
No, wait. What
It's
did
not
you
the
do this
same,
week?
Tony. It's really not the same.
We're not interested in your Googling. What did you do this week?
So I didn't read the book. I was doing some cleaning out of my home because I threw a lot of things in like cupboards and drawers when I moved in, because I hate clutter, but as long as it's
Sure.
hidden,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I just found some old, just like my own journals and some old Cosmos that I read through instead.
You found old
Did you learn any
Cosmos?
tips to drive him wild?
old Cosmo magazines and some of my old journals, and just read those instead.
With like naked pictures of Joe Namath or something? Like how old were they?
No, Joe, I don't.
Broadway Joe
Joe
tells
Namath?
all.
Wasn't he some kind of sports player at some point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He played sports ball in the late 60s.
So Tony got a cat, so she doesn't have time to do anything anymore.
It's
And there's
true.
one cat, and all of a sudden she's
all-
constantly busy.
Yeah. All I do is clean up vomit and scoop
Yeah.
the litter box constantly. And he's just one. He's a big boy, though. He's 20 pounds, as I've said before. So there's a lot of stuff happening.
Tony
Yeah,
told me the
well-
cutest. She told me the cutest thing the other day. She said he threw up on Friday night. I said, write that down on your calendar, Tony. The vet's going to need that. The idea that she knew when the cat threw up, I thought was just adorable.
Well, it's kind of a new cat owner thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, because I got to tell you, Tony, after a while, what you notice is when they're not throwing up.
Because that's the best time to pet them.
Yeah, just, your life just becomes
Absolutely.
one big, like,
Oh, yeah. And he always wants to vomit on soft goods. Like, I have hardwood floors in my home, but he either jumps on the couch to vomit or walks onto the
Yeah.
carpet to do it. He can't just vomit
Yeah.
on the hardwood.
yeah, you've got
He'll
the
learn.
most average cat that there could possibly be.
That's an
Because
aggressively
that's
average
exactly,
cat. Yeah.
That's
Do you
exactly
know-
how they are.
Do you know what I did? I taught him to sit, though.
Really?
What do you mean?
Did you teach him to sit, or did he eventually get bored and just sit?
No, when I tell him to sit, he sits.
Try that right now.
No, he's laying down. He's sleeping.
We'll puff him up.
No.
Oh, are you in that phase of pet ownership where you think, oh, he's sleeping, don't move him? Yeah, that goes away too.
I really wanted to make a breakfast smoothie the other day, but I didn't want to wake him, so I just didn't make one. Because
Oh, my
the blender's
God.
so
Wow.
loud.
Wow.
That's a big problem right there.
Yeah, I love that. You could not eat for days. Mostly cats do sleep. That's mostly what they do. So keep that in
I
mind.
know.
Now let me segue from cats to another mammal known as whales. Paula, do you have anything to say about the chapters we sort of read?
I do. So they're off they're off basically fishing, right?
Yeah.
And so it's well, of course, I listened to an audio version. So when they started off, you could hear.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
fishing
'cause
music.
they're-
I get it. Yeah.
Gone fishing. I can't remember. I listened to the book so long ago. I remember the lengthy, unnecessary, describing different kind of whales chapter.
Yeah, we read that.
I had entirely forgotten the nuances of the scar on Ahab. I remember that he had the whalebone leg that's a little finicky, and I remember meeting the other characters, but I never would have noticed all the symbolic nuances that Bonnie Burns noticed. I just want to say, since we've been reading Moby Dick, Bonnie has become multi-layered, just as a person.
She really has. Her whole she's just kind of blossomed, I think,
That's
Yeah.
under the
So
tutelage
now-
of Herman Melville.
So now sometimes when I say to her, sometimes I'll just go, fuck you. And then I go, on a certain level. Because I don't mean like, I don't mean all of, I just mean on a certain
But on
level.
a very real symbolic level, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah, I hear you.
Could you just go fuck yourself? But I mean that. Let me explain how I mean that. There was something else I was just going to tell you. I think that Toni is doing some critical thinking within her reading, where she keeps comparing it to old Cosmos.
Yeah, either that or she's just not reading the book. I will say this, that we had a chapter on whales, and Paula, you asked me, is that stuff accurate? And I got to say, I looked into it, and not only isn't it really accurate, he's outright confessing that this entire scientific chapter on whales isn't really good.
Well, he says it's his own conclusions. He doesn't say that he got it from a scientific source.
In fact, he says that scientists are sort of saying maybe we should classify the baleen whales and the titi whales differently, but I don't think so. And he also says scientists are sort of saying that maybe we shouldn't call them fish, but I'm calling them fish.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy you'd go to for medical advice.
Yeah. And then he'd just be making shit up. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
The doctors
Bonnie Burns,
say
where are
this.
we with the T-shirts?
Well, Tony's looking into what they're going to cost us.
I am.
Yeah, remember
All right, order.
Remember our discussion.
Order. That would be new business. Tony, what is the
Wait,
what's the deal with the T-shirts?
whoa,
I didn't do
remember
it.
We're using Bob's rules.
Remember our meeting on Wednesday? Our great
do.
meeting?
On Saturday?
Oh, Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonnie
no, I
remembers it
do.
as a
I do.
Wednesday. Was
It's-
that special to her?
It, yes.
Tony,
I
it was
forgot
the
I
day after
looking
the
into
cat
it.
threw up. You remember?
Yeah. I think she was busy reading all those headlines in Cosmo, like how to bring a guy to arousal that's the first time you've been with him in bed.
Bonnie, that is
No, wait.
that is the least
that doesn't make
plausible
sense.
Cosmo
You wouldn't
article
need to know
title
that.
ever.
It wouldn't matter if it was the first time you'd been in bed together.
Bonnie,
Take
you were
that back.
improvising.
Right.
No.
You were-
She's reading that article. This is what drew her attention.
Hold on.
That article with the headline, What Moby Dick Chapter to Read to Make Your Man Wild.
That's a good one.
So
That one's more plausible than Bonnie's.
I know
She's
when.
been reading
because-
Cosmos, but they've all been, related,
Here's one.
So, yeah, go ahead.
What to wear to work to get that promotion.
That's a good one. Tony,
Yeah.
you're the arbiter of all things Cosmo. Is that a plausible Cosmo article title?
Yeah, definitely.
See? Should you install mirrors in your bedroom?
Nope.
Nope. That might be a tip within an article, but that's not.
That's
I can't
true.
see a whole
You're
Cosmo
right.
article on
You're
that.
right.
I think it says a lot about us that we would prefer to talk about possible Cosmo article titles than Moby fucking Dick.
Yeah, no, Tony, do you remember that article, Point Ahab towards your equator? Do you remember that article?
What to nail to his mast?
What to say
There
when the
she
harpoon
blows. How to
comes
do
out?
it without teeth. We could do this for a long time.
How to get him interested
We
if he's
have to
not?
do the Cosmo edition of Moby Dick.
Would you say how to get him interested if he's not?
Yeah.
Oh, the answer is chum. Chum.
Oh, chum.
Fantastic. All right. So there we are with all the new business. I want to add that our absentee president, Kevin Nozevnik, remains in Brooklyn, but he wired me this message. Yes,
Wait.
Western
I have
Union-
another article from. There's the Dear Cosmo letters.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Cosmo, Queequeg doesn't seem to know I'm alive. Queequeg doesn't. Queequeg has eyes for only Ishmael. Oh gosh.
Here's one about Stub.
all right.
How to tell your second mate about your first mate.
How to prepare your hard biscuits. That's a.
How to make his biscuits hard. Come on. If I can think like a Cosmo writer, you can too, everybody.
Oh, God.
All right. What does Ken
That was
say?
Herman Melville's Cosmo. That was a rare edition that Tony has. Herman
Yeah.
Melville's Cosmo.
I really think we ought to write more Cosmo titles and make an entire Cosmo edition of Moby Dick.
Or it could be different movies. It could be different books.
Yeah. Well, as long as we're reading Moby Dick, let's try to make it germane.
We're gonna read Moby Dick
forever.
for the rest of our lives. Yeah, yeah.
We're stuck on this voyage. 50 ways to Moby his dick.
I was waiting for it.
Adam, answer the phone.
What? Oh, no. I
Answer
know
the
what this
phone.
is about. God damn it. Hello?
Hey, Adam, it's me.
Yes.
It's me, Mike. Boom,
Mike.
boom, fun of it, man. That was so fucking great. 50
Yeah,
ways
classic, right,
to
Mike?
Moby's his dick. I love that. Tell us one.
Tell us what?
Tell us one of the ways.
I'm not going to tell you one of the ways. It was just a suggested title, Mike. I don't want to stay in this territory all that time.
Fucking great, man. It's fucking great. Moby's
Yeah,
dick. Get it?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Get
I
it?
told the joke. I get it, Mike.
Oh man, I just love you, man. The stuff you say, it just cracks my ass. Honest to God, it does. It just cracks my ass. 50 ways to Moby his dick. That's a lot of ways. Let's just face it. That's a lot of ways.
Yes, Mike, it is a lot of ways.
Yeah. I
Thanks for...
I thought of like four. I thought of like 4 ways to Moby his dick, but man, you come up with 50 ways. You sure you're not
Can
gonna
I hear
tell me one?
yours? No, I didn't really come up with 50, but I'd love to hear...
After the game, when we hang out after the game, I'll tell you the way. Plus, man, I'm
Almost
not
worth it.
Moby in your dick. What are you talking about? You goofy.
What?
Oh man, you
didn't
were
say
the
that.
best. You were just the best.
Well, thanks for calling, Mike. Me and Paula have to get back to the show.
Wait, you still working with that girl?
Yeah, Paula Poundstone. It's it.
Oh,
Name
man,
above the
I don't
title.
I don't know how you stand that girl. She's such a bitch.
Hey, Mike, we've talked about this before. You will not talk about my co-host Paula Poundstone that way.
Yeah, I don't. She doesn't deserve to be on the same mic with you. She doesn't deserve to read the same novel with you.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, Mike,
All right,
Mike, I'm
go.
gonna hang up. Okay.
No, man, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Thanks for calling.
I got a lot of stuff I gotta do. All right, I'll talk to you later, man. We'll hang out after the game. Love you. Good talking to you, man. You're a great
Okay.
guy. Great guy. I fucking love that
Okay.
guy. I do.
Okay, hang up the phone, Mike. Wow.
All right, see ya, man.
Take care, Mike. If I'm not mistaken, Mike said "love you" at the end of that conversation.
I do, man. I love you. That's why I said that.
Hang up the phone, Mike.
All right, I'll talk.
God.
Yeah, I think I might have butt dialed you. Get it? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Get it? All right. So here's Kenneth Zebnik's opinion. Nailed gold doubloon to main mast of my apartment. Stop. Landlord not happy to have coin nailed to apartment intercom. Stop. Called me the Fulton Frankfurter King. Stop. Oh, I see. It's in telegram form. And,
Yeah, he sent you a telegram.
yeah, he sent me a telegram. All right, this is troubling on a couple of levels. Number one, Ken got the chapter numbers that we were supposed to read wrong because the nailing to the mast happens in the next chapter, I believe.
Oh, it's foreshadowing. Ken's telegram was foreshadowing.
Yeah. All right. Well, given that, I feel like we're all dicked out at this point. So unless there's any other business, I'm going to call this meeting to a close. Are there any other motions on the floor?
Let's use. Are there motions on the floor? What are you kidding me? You should see me. Adam,
Yes.
I'm writhing. I have a word.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you have a word. Great. And then I hereby call this meeting of the book club to a close.
Bob's rules. Yeah, Adam's using Bob's rules.
Yeah. So, Paula.
Yeah.
Much as I love to hear you noodling around before you sing the vocabulary song, do you have a word?
I do. Oh my gosh. How'd you know? Adam, I have a word. It's insensate. It's an
Ooh.
adjective that means lacking sympathy or compassion, unfeeling. Here, I'll use it in a sentence. Some listeners have felt that I am insensate to Tony's Googling problem.
A good use of
I'm
it.
not. I'm just honest with Tony that she has a Googling Jones. All right,
Right.
let's back it into the vocabulary song. I don't think I've ever played it right, ever.
Nope. Pretty
This
sure you
week's
haven't.
word is insensate. It's an adjective that means lacking sympathy or compassion, unfeeling. Get up and do all my chores even though you're still healing. Last week's word was assiduous. It's an adjective that means showing or done with thoroughness and great care, like how I carefully backcomb my hair. The week before that, the word was lubber. It's a noun that means a heavy, clumsy, stupid person. Once you've called a friend that, your relationship may worsen. Going back before that, the word was ubiquitous. It's an adjective that means present, appearing, or found everywhere. So many men are growing facial hair. And not long ago, we had obstreperous. It's an adjective that means noisy and difficult to control. Mo won't stop barking at people when they stroll. Let's never forget Gallimaufry, which Paula Poundstone pronounced wrong until nobody James Hyder corrected her. It's a noun that means confused jumbler medley of things. Hodgepodge, who's podge, hodgepodge. Adam doesn't think my song is replicable, but I do.
Woo!
Wow.
Bravo!
Yeah,
Despite
Adam.
the fact that you seem to have slipped into the third person there for the penultimate line of the song, that was a really great rendition.
Where did I slip into?
Gallimaufry, you did it in the third person. Somewhat like the
I
way
did,
Miss
didn't I?
Nancy did last week. Yeah.
Let's never forget Gallimaufry, which I pronounced wrong until nobody James Hyder corrected me. It's a noun that means confused jumbler medley of things. Hodgepodge, who's podge?
Who's Podge?
Hodgepodge.
Oh, now I feel
you're
like
right.
it's complete.
I did slip into
Yeah.
the third person. I do that sometimes now, though, because I just want more respect.
Okay. Well, he does it too. Coming up, Mark Twain said, "Do not undervalue the headache. While it is at its sharpest, it seems a bad investment. But when relief begins, the unexpired remainder is worth $4 a minute. Adjusted for inflation, that's a lot of relief. We'll find out more about headaches. That's next on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone.
Do you ever listen to our podcast and wish you could interrupt us?
Yes.
Well, now you can. We're going live on the Stereo app where you can ask us your questions directly on the app.
Yeah, Paula and I have been doing this every Friday on the Stereo app. And if you download the Stereo app, which is free, you get to,
It's free.
to do the stuff that you get to join us there. You can follow us also at stereo.com/Adam Felber and stereo.com/Paula Poundstone.
Join us on the Stereo app for our usual uncensored opinions and exclusive content. When we say exclusive, what we mean is you're not going to find this content anywhere else. It's exclusive content.
You're not welcome here unless you're with our club. But you know what? What's been really fun about it, Paula, is that, like, for instance, last week we did this car thing. You and I were click and clack, the only difference being that we knew nothing about cars, and we were able to get so many funny car stories from all our listeners.
Yeah, we just put out a little prompt, a little question for people to, last week it was, tell us about your worst, your car repair nightmare.
You're right, and it'll be something new this week. So follow us. Again, that's stereo.com/Adam Felber and stereo.com/Paula Poundstone, and get notified every time we go live. It's going to happen any moment. Nice. Now coming to the plate, Paula Poundstone.
On this day in unremarkable history, Chinese Emperor Qin Shi Huang said, "And Mexico will pay for it."
Thank you, house band Jim Ross. Hey, Paula Poundstone, you've been trying to figure out what to do about this headache, huh?
Yeah. They're ubiquitous, headaches are. And yet I have no, take some Advil, comes back again. I don't know. So,
we are fortunate enough to have an expert on headaches on the phone. Dr. Stephanie Nahas is an associate professor at Jefferson University and director of their Headache Medicine Fellowship Program, which is pretty on the nose for your question, Paula. Please welcome Dr. Stephanie Nahas.
Yay!
Welcome, Stephanie.
Welcome, doctor.
I feel like
Thank you.
we shouldn't be too loud, just in case we give her a headache. So, yes, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Should we call you Stephanie or should we call you Dr. Nahas? Is it Nahas?
It's Nahas.
Nahas.
At least that's the Americanized version of my name.
Why is it? What's its origins?
It's Lebanese.
Oh, I didn't realize. So
Yes.
should we call you Dr. Thomas?
Actually, it means coppersmith. So if you want to call me Dr. Coppersmith. No.
Okay, who just pulled a Danny Thomas Lebanese joke out of the air? I think I did.
Right.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I am impressed.
And that's
I
about
gotta
all the
say.
time we have, but we'd like to thank Dr. Stephanie Nahas for coming down to our show.
Thanks. I'm here all second.
Can you see, Dr. Nahas, why I get a headache? Let me ask you this. how many different causes of headaches, and I mean outside of Adam, do you think there are? I remember there used to be this pain reliever commercial on TV where a woman, for her whole head in the screen looking miserable, and a voiceover talked about a pounding headache and then a throbbing headache and a whole different variety of headache pain descriptions. Honestly, it gave me a headache just watching it. Do you have a list of adjectives for patients to describe their headache pain?
You know what? There are innumerable causes for headaches. There's lots of different types. There's lots of different ways to describe them. And they have lots of different biological and neurological reasons for them. But let's start with the imagery that you just described. This woman who is got this pounding, throbbing headache, and she's in misery. Oh, woe is me, with her hand to her forehead, and her kids are screaming, and the dishwasher is overflowing. Any number of these catastrophes that are happening, all because this poor woman is having a headache attack, and she just can't deal. She can't function. And you know what? That really underscores one of the things that bothers me about the perception of headache and especially migraine in this country.
Wow.
It's a common condition for humans, but we often use it to blame people for the way that they behave and the way that they can't behave, the way that they maybe can't participate in social activities, in their job, at home, etc. There's a huge stigma associated with headache and especially migraine because it is a women's disease. Migraine affects women 3 times more commonly than men.
Wow.
And most commonly affects women of productive age, reproductive age, and of working age in this country. Yeah. People between the ages of 15 and 49, it's the number 1 cause of years lived with disability.
Well, they're not all migraines though, right?
No. Migraine is the most common reason that a person goes to the doctor for headache. But the more common, quote, normal headache, a tension type headache, is what most people are more accustomed to experiencing, the so-called normal headache, the Excedrin headache, the Tylenol headache, right?
Mm-hmm.
Migraine is way more than just a headache. First of all, besides just a side-splitting headache, you have sensitivity to light, sensitivity to noise, odors. You may be nauseated, you may be vomiting from the pain. Your neck may be stiff, your brain may be foggy, you may be blinded by flashing lights and flickering lights in your vision. You may
it's
have
the entire
numbness.
House of Usher kind of thing happening.
You could be blinded by light. Could you be revved up like a deuce?
Yes.
You in a room in the night, Paula?
we have a whole separate ICD-10 code for that one.
Blinded by, you just can't hear those words and not think of that song.
No, absolutely not.
All right. So, and do they know what causes that?
It's a neurobiologic disorder. It's like, people always ask me when they come to see me in the office, why am I having these headaches? What is the cause? Mm-hmm. You got to do all the tests to find out what is the cause. And I'm like, no, most of the time we don't have to do all the tests. Most of the time, we don't have to do any of the tests.
What?
We just have to talk to you. And if you tell us that your symptoms are consistent with this human experience of migraine, which affects 12% of the population, over 1 billion people on this planet.
Yikes.
We say, yes, you know what? You have migraine. Any number of things might trigger an attack, but the cause is in your biology. Your brain is special. Your brain has the ability to shift into this state, which to me is fascinating, but to you, it's devastating. I get it,
right?
Because you can't function, you're in pain, you can't look at lights, you can't listen to the TV or the radio. You have to lie down because every single move that you make makes everything worse. Maybe your bowels are rebelling against you.
Yikes.
All kinds of things. You might be seeing strange things. You might be feeling strange things. Your speech might be off. You might be speaking in nonsensical tongues. Your head may feel like it's on fire. It may feel like somebody's pounding you with a sledgehammer. It might feel like there's a hot poker going through your eye.
Okay. Jesus.
All right. And so they go to you and you say, we're not going to do any tests. All right. And you just say, and basically they just join the club, right? You say, well, we don't have to do the test. You just answer some questions or you just talk to me about it. And then they're in the club and they get a sash and some badges if they get these different symptoms. So what can you do about it then?
Well, there's lots of things we can do about it. But I mean, the first order of business, though, you have to take a very detailed history. You have to do a good physical exam, including testing all the neurologic functions to make sure that nothing is unexpectedly abnormal. Because if it is, or if anything that person is telling you about their headache sounds a little weird, then you do need to do tests.
Oh, okay.
Not all of the tests, but you have to pick the correct tests based on what you suspect is going on.
Well, okay, so let's, for the time being anyways, move away from migraines because it's such an ordeal. But what about other kinds of headaches? You know, you were saying that they're in different parts of your head and they're caused for different reasons, right? Do you how do you narrow down the cause, or how does one narrow down the cause?
Or perhaps we should say the diagnosis, the type of headache that it is.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you mean
say
when
that.
you say cause.
That's,
Yeah,
I didn't
sure.
go to med school, but I'm happy to say that.
Yeah, well, you start with simple questions, again, ascertaining the properties and the qualities and the pattern of the headache.
Sure.
You can ask somebody, are you sensitive to light? Do you have to stop what you're doing? And does it make you sick when you have a headache? If they say yes to 2 or 3 of those things, they probably have migraine.
Damn it, you're back to migraines. I saw where you were going. You were slowly circling back around to migraines. You're paid by Big Migraine. I feel it.
I am. Well, it's mostly what we see.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Now, I get headaches from weird things. Like I get headaches from crying. From crying a lot, and not that I cry a lot, but on the occasion in which I do. And I also get headaches from not crying. Have you ever heard of that before?
I've heard that, and I've heard more. And, I'm sure in there somewhere there's some joke about saline and psychological instability, but I'll leave the comedy to you.
Oh, well, they're probably...
Well, as author of the big book of saline jokes, I could step in here, but I'm going to not.
But why would that give you a headache? Either crying or not crying?
Emotions and emotional factors certainly play in heavily to headache and migraine in particular. I know, paid by Big Migraine, blah, blah, blah. But I mean,
No,
migraine is mostly what we see in clinical practice. Now, when you speak about crying specifically, crying involves not just emotional circuitry within the brain, but also autonomic circuitry within the brain. The autonomic system is what controls those things we don't think about, like our breathing and our heart rate and the moisture in our skin, how much we might sweat, how the tears in our eyes, how moist our eyes are, how moist our nasal passages are, right? So when we become emotionally charged, then the autonomic nervous system that makes tears turns on, and that's interacting with the emotional circuitry. So, and tearing and sinus congestion and sinus symptoms can be part of headache syndromes too. So when you turn these circuits on, they sort of activate each other. And then they can become like reverberating circuits, like this vicious cycle.
So the key is to not do anything with your head. Try to not have your head respond in any way.
I mean, I can cure anybody's headache instantly. I just have to take their head off. This is true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. What about this? Okay, have you ever heard of this? I get headaches from constipation. Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of people who say I get headaches from all kinds of things. Now, what I might say in your particular circumstance is you might not be getting headaches from constipation. You might be getting constipation from your headache problem.
Oh, snap,
No,
Paula.
Definitely not. It's the other way around. But why are the two related in any way?
Because the headache part of it is just one.
Because you have your head up your ass.
Boy,
here's another very easy solution.
You're welcome, everybody.
Adam, answer the phone. Okay.
We focus on the headache, but that's not when the attack begins. The attack begins when the changes in the brain first start happening.
Right.
The hypothalamus controls some of our basic functions like hunger and sleep and our response to light and dark cycles, et cetera. So we postulate that at the very beginning of an attack, there are some changes that happen in the hypothalamus, which can lead to some symptoms like yawning or craving certain foods or mood changes, urinating too much, or changes in bowel habits. And so what you might be experiencing is hypothalamic activation in a way that changes your bowel function, but that's just a warning sign that pretty soon here comes the headache.
Ooh.
And that can be hours to even days later.
Sneaky.
I gotta say, that is a really lousy, warning sign because,
I wouldn't want
if
it.
you don't know that it's a warning, right? Then, a warning sign needs to be connected to what we understand. Like, for example, you learn the red light when you're a little kid. But if changes in your digestive system are a warning sign that a headache is coming, that's not a good warning sign.
Well, it's like all those dashboard lights, right? We don't know what they mean.
Right.
We don't know what they means. All right, an Armenian proverb tells us a pain in the foot is soon forgotten, a pain in the head is not. Stay tuned to find out more about why headaches are memorable. The cat of the week is Toonsis from Sauk Center, Minnesota.
Ritual's clean, vegan-friendly multivitamin is formulated with high-quality nutrients in bioavailable forms your body can actually use. What won't you find? Sugars, GMOs, major allergens, synthetic fillers, and artificial colorants.
So if you're a fan of artificial colorants or synthetic fillers or major allergens,
This is not the place to go.
not for you. Now available for women, men, and teens, Ritual multivitamins are scientifically developed to help support different life stages.
I'm not sure
Like
what stage
Paula's
of life
different
I'm in.
life stage. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure what stage of life I'm in, but I've taken Ritual vitamins before, and they were, I took them every morning, and helped me begin an optimistic kind of a day.
Yeah.
They're not the kind that stay with you all day because they're gaggy and they get stuck in your throat.
No, there's that minty thing happening, right?
They have the minty thing. There's like a minty smell in the bottle, but the individual capsule is not the chalky thing. So they don't get stuck.
Right.
They go down real easily, and you get your vitamins.
And now you can lift a train car if you need to. Your
Oh my
multivitamins.
gosh.
Your multivitamins are delivered to your door every month with free shipping always. You can start, snooze, or cancel your subscription anytime. And if you don't love Ritual within your first month, they will refund your first order.
When the mail carrier came to my door and the Ritual vitamins,
Sure.
I picked them up just because I could.
Wow.
Just lifted them right off the ground. And I remember him yelling, "Put me down, put me down." Yeah. Get key nutrients without the BS. Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/Paula to start your ritual today. And by the way, mail carriers don't like to be picked up. We all have memories and experiences from childhood that shaped who we are today. And with a KiwiCo subscription, you and your child get everything needed to create unforgettable moments shipped right to your door.
And I got to say, Paula, they are unforgettable moments because recently we've gotten a few KiwiCo crates at this house and we've had some amazing times with them. I mean,
You put your kid in the crate? Did you put your kid in there? You put your kid in the crate?
The crates are not big enough. But like
Boy,
my
that's
daughter and
going
I
to
have
shape
built...
your kid. They're never going to forget that.
Yeah, they tried, but they can't get in there because they're little. But my daughter and I built these friction climbers, and we played with these prisms. But if you want to talk about memories, the first KiwiCo crate we ever got was a walking robot, and Vivian still talks about it. That like
Wow.
the day we opened the door and there was this little crate there, and out of it we created a robot that actually walks across the floor. It's amazing.
That is cool. Encourage your children to be innovators and creative thinkers. They won't believe what they can build and accomplish with KiwiCo, and when they're finished, watch their confidence be as big as their smile.
If anything, they're too confident. It's hard to find new creative ways to keep the kids busy while stretching their brain, especially now, but KiwiCo does the legwork for you so you can spend more time tackling projects together.
KiwiCo is redefining learning with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. There's something for every kid, or kid at heart. At KiwiCo, get 30% off your first month, plus free shipping on any crate line with code PAULA at kiwico.com.
That's 30% off your first month at KIWICO.com, promo code Paula. And we're back with Dr. Stephanie Nahas. Doctor, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm headache free.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Hey, there's a good question. What do you do when you get a headache?
When I get one, I try to resist taking medication because I'm a terrible patient, like most doctors. But I'm also like most people who experience headache. They don't want to have to take something for it because they're afraid they're going to get used to it, or they're going to be taking too much, or somebody's going to yell at them. You know, there are things that you can do to alleviate the attack once it starts. Rest, relax, hydrate, warm up or cool down, whatever you feel you need to do. Maybe a little self-massage of the neck and shoulders, some soothing aromatherapy, just, kind of treat yourself, right? And make sure that you're not exposing yourself to anything that's going to make it worse. There comes a point where you have to take some medicine, and that medicine is an individual decision that should be up to you and in consultation with your doctor.
I went through a period where I had a headache every day. And then I would take, get up in the morning and take Advil. And then finally I figured out, I forget how many Advil I took a day, but a lot. And I finally figured out that it was the only time I drank water was when I took Advil. And so I just tried as an experiment not taking Advil and just drinking water when I felt a headache instead. And you know what? It worked. I mean, it doesn't mean I never get headaches and I never take Advil. I still do sometimes. But that constant, daily problem, I didn't drink enough water. The brain is so damn weird. Is there?
Yeah.
And I'm not blaming you, but the brain is weird.
I don't think she'd think you were blaming her.
No, I'm not blaming you, doctor, but the
didn't
brain.
sound like you were.
I didn't think so until now, but
now it feels weird.
I feel that you're on the side of the brain, and I feel that most of our brains are against us. Here's a question: how could Ted Kennedy be awake during his brain surgery? If I can get a headache from congestion or loud noise, wouldn't I get a headache from someone poking around inside my brain with sharp tools?
Well, if you were awake while they were getting in there, yes. But the brain itself is what we call insensate. It doesn't sense pain.
Oh my
the brain
gosh!
Itself,
That's today's vocabulary word.
Oh my gosh.
That's bizarre.
It's everything that surrounds the brain and the blood vessels inside the brain that can feel pain. And it's those structures that are sending signals to the brain itself that allow you to perceive the pain. But if you just poke the brain, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to feel it. You might have other symptoms. So let's get back to Ted Kennedy. Yeah. I mean, you name it, because the brain does everything. So for somebody like Ted Kennedy, who had a brain tumor, they had to operate on it. It was in a part of his brain that was nearby structures that could subserve speech and understanding of speech.
Oh, I remember this now. Yes.
Reading, motor function, sensory function, etc. So when you have somebody that you need to operate on them, but the place that you have to operate on is what we call high-priced real estate. What you want to do is you put them to sleep. You open them up while they're anesthetized so they don't feel all of that cutting of the skin and drilling through their skull and sawing the bone open. And
Not fun.
Once you get everything exposed, though, you can wake them up, and then you can start to try to operate on them, take out the tumor or do whatever it is.
But you keep talking to them, right? And so Teddy was saying things like, no, now I can't feel my arm.
Right.
My arm has no feeling.
So you have him, read 407 years ago, you just have him reading that while you're doing that. And as soon as he goes, blah, 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 all right, we need to stop.
Yeah, then you've touched on the bad communication part.
And let me just say blah, blah.
Wow. Yes. Again, the brain is just plain weird. Hey, do animals get headaches?
It's funny that you ask that, because we postulate that maybe they do. There was many years ago, a colleague in the field had postulated that her dog was experiencing migraine attacks based on the behavior of the dog. Because when humans, when they get a migraine attack, they want to retreat, they want to stop being active, they don't want to be bothered with light or noise or sound. And this doctor's dog, this woman's dog, would just sometimes all of a sudden go into this state. And it was postulated that maybe that happens. And so we think that, just like dogs and cats, they can get maladies similar to what humans experience. Mm-hmm. They can become depressed. They can become anxious. I mean, we know this is true. Maybe they get migraine as well. We just can't talk to them. And that's part of what's difficult in doing research in headache and migraine is you don't know when a lab rat is having a migraine attack. They're already sensitive to light. They can't vomit because they're just physically incapable of doing it. So you can't really test them. And this is why you have to open up their brains and put electrodes in there and read their brain signals
you absolutely
while you're doing things to them. Yeah, you actually have to for animals, and you have to measure the chemicals and see what's happening with their blood vessels. And this is how we learn about what we think is going on in the brain during migraine.
Wow. And do a lot of rats want to remain awake while you do the, it's like Ted Kennedy?
I think exactly 0 of them do.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this.
I can't smell cheese anymore. I see the cheese, but I can't smell it. Maybe stop that.
How do you I have to tell you that your Kennedy rat is a little more like FDR rat. Okay.
You know what?
We have nothing to fear but unnecessary cranial surgery.
All politicians are rats.
When headaches are in a different part of your head, does it mean different things?
Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. For example, there are certain headache and facial pain syndromes where the pain tends to be in a specific location. There's a nerve in the back of your head called the occipital nerve. And when that gets inflamed or irritated, you tend to have pain right at the back of your head, and it shoots forward over the top and towards your eye. And if you touch that part of the back of your head, it makes the pain get worse. Yeah. Migraine can be anywhere. Tension type headache can be anywhere. So the location doesn't always help us, but sometimes the location does mean something. It might mean that there's a pinched nerve in the neck. For example, in the upper part of the neck, if there's a pinched nerve, you tend to have pain in the forehead and the eye. If it's in the middle or the lower part of the neck that you have a pinched nerve, the pain tends to be more in the back of the head. So sometimes the location helps us, but not always.
I'll tell you where location is very important is business. Location. Yeah.
High-priced real estate.
All right, here I have one more question, which is, what is the best way to cure a common headache?
Well, now define common headache for me.
Damn it. You're taking the brain side again.
Let's say tension headache, maybe, because it sounds like that's a very common headache.
Okay. All right.
The most common headache is going to be tension type headache.
Okay. Yeah.
Where it's just pressure. It's all over the head. It might have a slight throbbing character to it, but it generally doesn't interfere with function. You don't feel sick to your stomach, sensitive to light, noise, and all that other business.
Okay. Mine has a samba beat. Is that helpful?
If you're into that, yeah. So, like I said
you
before,
might just want to ask Tito Puente to either pay the rent or move out.
Yes. In that circumstance, you just want to treat yourself. Whatever makes you feel good, you do it.
But what's your recommendation?
You typically something that you can get over the counter, a simple analgesic, as we call it, some kind of just garden variety painkiller like acetaminophen, ibuprofen, naproxen, et cetera. That's typically first line treatment for these common garden variety tension type headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tension type headache can get to the point where it's bothersome and it needs more expert advice, because you can't be taking those kinds of things more than 2 or 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll get into what we call rebound headache. And that, when you realize that maybe I should just drink water instead of drinking water and also taking an Advil,
Mm-hmm.
you probably were addressing 2 problems at once. Number 1, you weren't drinking enough water. Number 2, you were taking too much Advil and giving yourself rebound headaches from overexposure to the
Mm-hmm.
Advil. That's just a theory. That's just a possibility.
Yeah.
And we see that happen so much, where people they start eating this stuff like candy.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to tell them, look, stop the madness. You just have to, it really is stop
To
the
get
madness.
off that cycle.
It's not working, right? So why do you keep doing it? Just cut it off. And that can be
Right,
very
yeah.
difficult for somebody to do. And that's when we have to shepherd them through the process of dealing with that headache attack in different ways, that they're not always reaching to swallow a pill or to do something more healthful for themselves. It's also important to re-examine what your lifestyle is, what your environment is, and see what you can tweak and tune to make it more healthful. Improve your diet, improve your hydration, exercise more regularly, make sure you're getting good relaxation activities, recreational activities, make sure that you're not hunched over at the computer for 8 to 10 hours a day.
You know
make sure
what?
you
You
take
doctors
breaks.
are always like, oh, take better care of yourself and you'll feel better.
Yeah,
So annoying,
honestly.
isn't it?
Yeah, they've got a lot of nerve.
That's
She's totally on the side of the brain. I just feel
Well,
it.
as a neurologist, I have to have a lot of nerve.
neurology joke.
Well, this was so helpful. Thank you
Yes.
very, very much.
Dr. Stephanie Nahas. Now, thanks for clearing this up, but we now have to take that information that you've given us and run it through the old Poundstonator, which is a very complex machine, not unlike the brain. Paula?
All right, Maestro James Ross, our house band on the French horn tonight. Can you, and my oldest friend in the world, can you give us some background music, and I will tell you what the old Poundstonator spit out. Patient, I have a terrible headache. Doctor, is it a pounding kind of a headache pain? Patient, no, it's more of a... Doctor, is it a squeezing kind of a pain? Patient, no. Doctor, is it like a wah-wah pain? Does it come in waves? Patient, no, it's just one solid pain. Doctor, is it behind your eyes? Patient, one eye really fucking hurts. Doctor, is it on one side? Patient, yes, one side, from the back of my head, all the way forward. Doctor, did it come on gradually or all at once? Patient, all at once, just like shoom, boom, fucking killer headache. Doctor, maybe it was environmental. What were you doing at the time? Patient, I was catching a javelin. Doctor, well, that explains that pole going through your head. Patient, so I did catch it.
She is an associate professor in the Department of Neurology at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia, PA, and director of the Headache Medicine Fellowship Program. Dr. Stephanie Nahas, thank you so much for coming on our show. It was wonderful.
Stephanie, thank you.
And
Thank
Dr.
you,
Nahas,
thank
this
you.
was so helpful. I'm sure the nobodies are going to get a lot of pain relief from this. Thank you very, very much.
My pleasure. And thank you again so much for having me. It's an honor to have this opportunity to speak to the nation.
There they are.
Or some of the nation.
And Moldova.
Coming up, Mailbag Personal Hygiene Edition. Nobodies think they know who was in the shower with Bonnie Burns. Let's find out if they were right. That's coming up right after this.
Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? It just seems like such a crazy question to ask. Yes, yes, and yes. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist.
You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. We've told you it's professional counseling done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which, by the way, might not be offered locally in your area.
You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy.
BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and also free to change counselors if you need to. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling. Also, financial help is available.
BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Everyone deserves a happy life. Visit betterhelp.com/Paula. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional.
In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are currently recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get this, 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Paula.
I would think that our podcast alone would be a huge mental health benefit. But on the other hand,
if we're not enough, betterhelp.com/Paula. You know, after that new year we passed recently, we're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff.
Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar. Hello, 0 grams of sugar. 13 to 14 grams of protein and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. And only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. And I'm going to tell you something. In all honesty, I have no idea what net means.
Well, I got to tell you, it's not flavor-free, and we've got exciting news. Magic Spoon will be releasing 2 amazing new flavors this month for a limited time only. We're talking about cookies and cream. No, that's just one flavor. And maple waffle. And if that isn't the most comfortable, indulgent combination, then I don't know what is. This is your ultimate treat-yourself combo, so make sure you get some while you can for this limited time.
Boy, they're putting it out limited, like they're giving you a taste, right? Yep. And then they get you hooked. Oh, man. Plus, you can build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, and cinnamon. If you're listening from Canada, Magic Spoon now ships there as well.
I got to tell you, Paula, as you know, I'm a big fan of my childhood breakfast cereals. And when you put the peanut butter in your mouth, it tastes like a certain peanut butter cereal. And when you put the cocoa in your mouth, it tastes like a certain cocoa cereal that we all loved as kids. And except they don't have any of those sugars and stuff. You put them together in a box, and you know what you got, Paula?
What do you got?
You got peanut butter and chocolate in your mouth.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. And the cinnamon flavor, they used to specifically say don't even talk about the cinnamon flavor because it created such a rush of demand. They couldn't keep up with the cinnamon flavor demand. And, I think Biden did a thing where they bought a lot of the cinnamon flavor, so that people could have it.
He did. He bought all it up and then is distributing it.
Yeah, exactly. So go to magicspoon.com/Paula to grab the new limited edition cookies and cream, maple waffle, or a custom bundle of cereal to try today. And be sure to use our promo code Paula at checkout to save $5 off your order. This offer is now good anywhere in the U.S. or Canada, but only when you use our code at checkout. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed. I love this part. It's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/Paula and use the code Paula. I like to spell it Paula to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon. We appreciate you sponsoring our podcast.
Thank you.
Fun fact, men are 23% more likely to be left-handed than women, and 86% more likely to think that fact is interesting. Hey, everybody, it's time for Mailbag Personal Hygiene Edition. This is a pretty exciting thing for me. Wait, we just
Adam.
came back, Bonnie. You want me to wait?
No, I know. But I thought it would be cool if we had a theme song for this.
For the Personal Hygiene Edition of Mailbag?
Yeah. So, that wasn't it.
Mailbag.
So I have one. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
If it's going to supplant Paula's theme, I'm all ears.
Okay, here it is.
Mailbag.
Get ready. I have to cue it up.
Come, let's practice good hygiene.
Let's keep our bodies clean.
We will all be so healthy.
What the hell was that, Bonnie?
Didn't you hear it? Come, let's practice good hygiene.
It sounded like
We will all
happy
be so
Japanese
clean.
cartoon music.
Did you hear the lyrics?
I couldn't really hear the lyrics. But it did sound like it was something from a Speed Racer episode. The cartoon that you got it off of,
Here.
did the mouths move at the same time as the song?
Okay, wait. Try it again. Here, I'll
Okay.
sing along. Okay. Come, let's practice good hygiene. Let's keep our bodies clean. We will all be so healthy.
I don't know on what planet you decided this would be a useful addition to our show, but God damn it, Bonnie.
What I really want to know is, Bunny, how did you come across that song?
How did I find it?
Yeah.
I Googled.
You Googled songs about
jeez.
hygiene
Yeah.
and then thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it over my phone for Paula and Adam as a theme song.
No, in editing, we'll make it probably better quality.
I'm going to tell you
Like
now,
this.
in editing, it's still going to suck. I want to stick with our old theme song, Mailbag,
Oh wait, hold on. I put it aside for
because this is our new theme song for our new edition, Mailbag, Hygiene Edition.
Yeah, it was a
Hygiene Edition.
what would have been great, I think, Bonnie, is when you listened to the song. If
Yeah.
it had inspired you to bathe, that would be good. Just you listen to the song and then you jump in the shower. I think that was the purpose of the song when they wrote it. Not
Let
they
me
didn't
play
want it
this
to
for
be our
Paula.
theme song.
Okay, now moving forward, because God knows we have to. Mailbag. Hygiene Edition. Hygiene Edition. Nobody's wrote us about Captain Crinkle and her shower partners, but we're going to start with what Allison G termed our most concerning euphemism. Tony Hull, I don't know what you mean by that. Would you share that?
Of course. So this is when Bonnie was in the Trader Joe's parking lot recording the show from there.
Right.
So this was Allison's most concerning euphemism. Paula said Bonnie is, quote, making guacamole in the, quote, back seat. I just want Bonnie to know that her, quote, guacamole may not be precious to the world, but it should be precious to her.
Okay, so the implication here is that Bonnie was using making guacamole as a metaphor, as a euphemism for something else.
Yeah.
That I had diarrhea? That I had diarrhea?
No.
I would hope
No, wow, but thank you for going there.
I think more sexual than that.
Yeah.
Really? I
Well,
don't get it.
because I don't think that Allison G would have thought that your diarrhea may not be precious to the world, but it should be precious to you.
Well, that's why
I don't. I just don't think
that.
that's where Allison G was going with that. That's just one man's
I
opinion.
don't think.
All right,
I agree with Adam.
Here's what I want. Tony, will you just for a moment play the part of Allison G?
Okay.
Just
Okay,
kind of do that. Do a
because-
couple of acting warm-ups if you need to, Tony. But get into that role and follow Paula's
All right, so
directions.
Tony Anita Hull is now playing the role of nobody, Allison G. Allison, answer the phone.
Hello, this is Allison G.
Hey, Allison, man, this is me, Mike Bubba Bonifant. Get it? Guacamole in the back seat. Get it? Get it? Oh man, that's so fucking funny. She's making guacamole. It's precious to her. Yeah. Oh man. You know what, Allison? I tell you what. I'll take your address off the call.
Do we get to hang out after the game, Mike?
And scene. Let's hear it for Tony Anita Hull for playing Allison G so ably in that scene.
Yeah, I
That was
gotta
really
go,
impressive.
Allison. Allison G, I'll take your phone number and your address off the call. Thanks for having me. Oh my God, guacamole in the back seat. Get it?
I don't
Hopefully, I
get it.
can meet you behind the bleachers after the game, Mike.
Oh.
Oh man, and we'll make Dippin' Dots. All right, I gotta go. Cool, Allison.
Bye, Mike.
I'm pretty sure Mike just said he'd make Dippin' Dots. I don't
He
want
did.
to even think about that. All right, so moving on because I feel we need to. So there's this one concern about Captain Crinkle's personal hygiene, but there's more. Nobody's have theories about the Broadway star Bonnie Burns famously on this show showered with. But she cannot reveal the name of this mysterious clean friend. So what do you got, Tony?
Yeah, so Phil in Minnesota wrote, after analyzing all the clues that Bonnie has been dropping, there can only be one possible answer to the identity of her shower buddy. It has to be Harold Lipschitz. Of course, we all know him better by his stage name. Pause while Tony Anita Hull Googles it. I did Google it. It's Hal Linden. It also explains why he changed his name when there's really no way to improve upon Lipschitz. My guess is that he only assumed another identity after rumors of the Burns-Lipschitz stallions began circulating. I know I would have. Let me say one more time, just because it's fun to say, Lipschitz.
Oh, Bonnie.
Now, Bonnie, now we know that. I want to
think-
say that if it turns out this is true, I already suggested that it might be Hal Linden.
Hal
Bonnie-
Linden is so handsome.
Absolutely. Did you shower with Hal Linden?
He's an ass. I worked with him once. Sorry, Hal.
I love him.
Is he dead?
Barney Miller was a great show. Such a funny
Yeah.
show. Wow. I thought they were going to guess my guess, which is Zero Mostel.
Yeah, Zero
That
Mostel was
was
really old in the
insulting.
90s, if he was even alive.
That was insulting. No, Hal Linden was used to being a big star, and so I think he was a little more used to being catered to than I like.
So that's why you
He
kicked him out
kind
of
of
your
had
shower.
an ego. He sort of had a big ego. So he would not be my type. Is he dead?
So Bonnie
He's
gave
not
him
dead.
a moist towelette and tell him to keep walking.
All right, so it wasn't Hal Linden. Phil, thanks for writing in, but I'm sorry, your guess is wrong, and so you do not win today's prize.
That was a good
He's
guess,
too
Phil.
angular. He's too angular for me.
Oh,
There's a clue.
he's really good
You
looking.
like him
and he's
plump.
really great in Barney Miller.
He is
yeah.
really
young
good.
people, if you have not seen Barney Miller, find it somewhere. It's a great show. It never got all the credit it was due. It was a really great show.
And on that same topic, Bonnie, was the guy in the shower Abe Vigoda? that's all I need to ask
Well,
tonight.
he's a lot less angular. No.
That's for sure. All right. Tony, what else you got? We're here for Mailbag.
Oh, damn it. Wait.
Mailbag.
Wait. It's not time. All right, go ahead.
Tony, what else do you have here for us on Mailbag? Hygiene edition.
You know what that is? You know what this is?
This just in. Tony need a hull.
No.
Keep doing that,
this
Paula.
this is hygiene edition.
I knew it.
It's
Yeah, but
the
do you want to
sound
just
of
keep
little
doing that fast and rhythmically? Just keep going.
It's shower droplets.
Oh, I like it as a news thing, though. This just in. Tony Nita Hull has a new thing for Mailbag. Tony?
I'm just waiting.
She's not going to stop. I've been waiting for 2 years now. Mailbag edition.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead, Tony. Let it rip. Mailbag.
Oh, okay.
Hygiene edition.
And okay.
Mail. This just in. Tony Nita Hull has stalled out in her reading of the Mailbag Hygiene Edition. For more on this, we'll go to Tony Nita Hull. Tony Nita Hull, what is the problem?
Yeah, so there's a theory that's really wishful thinking. God damn it, Paula.
All right, go ahead. Tell us about the theory, Tony. Go ahead. Tell us about the theory.
I don't trust you at all.
That's my theory theme song. Whereas this is personal hygiene. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Okay. Bonnie received a very kind email from one of our nobodies in the book club who wrote, I was just sitting reading Moby Dick, and what inexplicably popped into my mind, but who your Broadway 90s hunk might be. I so hope it was Michael Norrie. I know you can't respond. I just like thinking that's who it was, regardless of how wrong my guess might be.
Wow, Michael Norrie. He's from.
I don't know who
he's
that
been on
is.
everything. He was on. He was on a lot of TV shows and stuff like The OC, and he was on that show my friend was on Damages. He's a handsome actor, and
He is?
I don't know those shows because I watch Breaking Bad and Columbo and Perry Mason and Dick Van Dyke.
He was in
Boy.
Flashdance.
Yeah, he
guys
was in
watched
Flashdance.
didn't you?
He was Victor
Oh, he was the-
Victoria.
He was the boyfriend that she keeps slapping.
Yeah.
yep,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
we
don't
reviewed
remember
that
this.
movie together, Paula, just last
I
year.
remember. Boy, Michael Norrie can pick him.
And not only that, I know Michael Norrie.
Oh, well, there you
Oh.
go.
He's a
I saw
super
that
nice guy,
coming.
but Bonnie Burns,
No.
I have to know. If you don't tell me honestly, Michael will. Is the man you showered with Michael Norrie?
He is not, but he is a lot closer than Hal Linden, or Zero Mostel, or Abe
You know-
Sapoda.
Zero Mostel is my favorite.
At least we're getting closer.
There's only one way to tell if Michael Norrie was the man that Bonnie showered with. Bonnie, could we please see your sweatshirt?
I don't even know what we're doing here. Mailbag. Jesus.
Well, Michael Nuri was in Victor Victoria on Broadway in the 90s.
Yes. Well, so you've just Googled him.
She seems
But he-
to know an awful lot about Michael Norrie, doesn't
I will
she?
absolutely ask Michael about that.
No, it's not Michael Nuri.
I'll be the
But
judge of
that's
that.
Closer. That's pretty closer. But not
It's
him.
closer. Okay, so nobody's, if you're out there guessing about the the 80s and 90s star who was also a Broadway star who Bonnie showered with, and then, let's remember, left the shower, went to bed, and then left the bed to go outside because of a gas attack.
Which could have been, by the way, that gas attack, Bonnie, could have been a warning sign that a headache was coming.
A migraine.
Paul, Tony, just so I can make this glockenspiel go away, tell me that's all we have on Mailbag.
You know what? That's all we have for Mailbag hygiene.
Okay, so that wraps up this week's edition of Mailbag.
Mailbag.
Hygiene edition.
Come, let's practice good hygiene. We will keep our bodies clean and we'll
I can't
be healthy.
believe I have to manage this idiocy every week.
Off the
All right.
rails.
Paula, Calgon,
Adam.
take me away. Tell me what's going on in the Poundstone product empire this week.
Well, I've been practicing good hygiene and keeping my body clean, if that means anything to you. I'll tell you what's going on, Adam.
Yes.
Come on, practice good hygiene, keep our bodies clean. Once you really get rocking out to it, it's kind of pleasant. Come on, everybody now. Come and practice
let's
good
practice
hygiene.
Good hygiene. We will keep our bodies
Keep our bodies
clean.
clean.
And we'll be healthy.
Gosh.
Healthy.
And we will be with zero mustel.
Healthy.
All right.
We will all be so healthy. We will all
right.
be
Okay.
so healthy.
I got one more guess. George C. Scott.
Oh, now
Well,
that
that's
would
quite
have been
possible. He was
interesting.
90 in the 90s.
But the
Bonnie,
complexity,
show
I
me.
like
Let me
the
just take a
idea.
moment of. Let me see a Family Feud moment here. Bonnie, show me George C. Scott. Oh, I'm sorry, Paula. You do not win that car.
It's ironic that she showered with a guy from the Dirty Dozen. Come and practice good hygiene. We will keep our bodies clean. All right. That leads me to my next guest, Telly Savalas. Come and practice good hygiene.
I got you, baby. Or whatever
We
he
will
said.
keep our bodies clean. Oh, I remember seeing you with a lollipop that time. Oh, I win. I'll tell you, Adam.
All right. Wait, hold on a second, Paula.
Yeah.
So Telly Savalas, an actor from Dirty Dozen, also popular from Kojak. Bonnie just got his catchphrase wrong. It was "Who loves you, baby?" Not "I got you, baby." But let's see if he is the celebrity that Bonnie Burns showered with back in the 90s. Bonnie, survey says. Oh, I'm sorry, Paula Poundstone. That's 2 strikes now, and I wonder whether you're going to have enough points to get onto the bonus round. But once again, not Telly Savalas, not George C. Scott.
I've never seen the
Paula,
show
you're down
Family
to your last
Feud.
strike, so you should make this one count.
I've never seen the show Family Feud. Do they, if you get all the answers wrong, do you have to switch family members? Is that a thing?
Yes, you do. But you do only get 3 strikes. So you're down to your last guess as to who your manager and good friend and our producer, Bonnie Burns, showered with in the 90s. Broadway actor Paula, for all the marbles, because this is take it or leave it. I'm afraid you've got your entire family counting on you. What is your final guess?
Okay, this one's going to sound kind of crazy.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
All right, I'm just going to say it. William Frawley. Was it William Frawley?
William Frawley. William Frawley. A good guess. Wait a minute. You wait till I do that stupid thing. William Frawley is a popular stage entertainer. He was dead long
in
before the 90s. In fact, he died in the 60s. Bonnie Burns in the 90s. Did you shower with dead William Frawley? Survey says. Oh, I'm sorry, Paula Poundstone.
No. Don't you remember what he said to you? I'm coming back for one more shower, honey bunch.
Oh my God! You know, I would say that we ran off the rails, but this show has never had any rails to speak of.
Oh my gosh!
I really want all of us to go on the Family Feud together as one family.
I thought
Oh
of
my
that
gosh.
too. We'd be great.
That would really be fun, and I think that we're really America's family.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think people think of us the way they used to think of the Brady Bunch. You know, we're just America's family.
Yep. Paula, you have anything going on in the Poundstone product empire this week?
Okay, the way they thought of the Brady Bunch in that episode where Marcia couldn't stop Googling and Carol kept showering with strange men, that kind of America's family.
Yeah, that's what makes us America's family, because we do that.
Yeah, we really are. We really are America's family. I'll tell you something, Adam. Poundstone Industries is wowing the business world. At the store at paulapoundstone.com, listeners can find Poundstone Pussy Pillows, the 4-inch by 5-inch catnip-filled pillows with a cat joke on one side and autographed to your cat on the other side. Plus, the Poundstone Pussy Pillow, every cat's favorite, has a grommet through the top so you can attach a string and drag it for Bobo, Randall, or Fluffy. Listeners can also go to cameo.com/PaulaP33 and order a video message from me to anyone you want. And keep in mind, I'm part of America's family. Heidi.
Well, I'm part of America's family too, and remember that you can catch me on the Stereo app every week doing the Starburn Sports simulcast with comedian Jeff Cesario, who is just amazingly funny. We just did the NBA All-Star Game. We're doing pro golf. You don't want to miss this, because how else are you going to be able to get through pro golf? All right, subscribe to this podcast. It's free. You'll get it every week at no charge. And if there's a subject or topic that you'd like to know more about, tell us. We're at nobodylistens-to-Paula-Poundstone@gmail.com. Once again, that's nobodylistens-to-Paula-Poundstone@gmail.com. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is hosted by Paula Poundstone and yours truly, Adam the Felber. Special thanks to our guest, Dr. Stephanie Nahas. And thanks to our house band, Jim Ross. Paula's old friend, Jim Ross. Our show is produced by Paula Poundstone, who's Jim's old friend. Adam Felber, Bonnie Burns, Ken Lezebnik, and Tony Anita Hall. Mixing by Michael Hoagie. Starburns production by the inimitable Land Romo. Transcription services for the show provided by Transcribe Me, a premier internationally used transcription service. Use code Paula Poundstone when placing your order at transcribeme.com to receive an expedited service.
That's our show for tonight. Won't somebody please listen to me?
We really are America's family.
We really are. You know, my friend Jim Ross is a world-renowned French horn player, and he's the conductor of the Alexandria Orchestra, and he's Maestro James. And I'm wondering if he's going to be able to play for us the...
No, I
the
think
Mailbag personal hygiene song.
No, I think that's probably a little bit above his skill level. I mean, Paula, you make it sound so easy, but
Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing. When you're good at something, people don't realize all the hours of practice that go into it.
yeah, it almost feels like there's no practice at all that went into this.
So I've really pulled off that feeling,
Yeah,
right?
total success.
Yeah. But in fact, hours and hours and hours. Personal hygiene.
I now have one more possible cause of headaches.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.
Stereo is a free live broadcast social platform that enables people to have real conversations in real time. Listen to this. This is a clip from an earlier Stereo conversation between me and Adam Felber and our listeners.
Alberta, you're on the line.
My prediction for 2021 is fucking zombies.
Wow.
Really?
Now, I'm going to
I've
ask
never-
for clarification here, because are you predicting that there's going to be zombies? Fucking zombies? Or are you predicting that people are going to be fucking zombies?
That's what it sounded like. And I thought to myself, I've really never lusted after a zombie before. But we could kill each other. That I'm not going to fuck a zombie, but but I'd be happy to chat. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is excited to offer our listeners a new way to interact with us.
To find out about the day and time, you can download the Stereo app and follow me or Paula. That's at Paula Poundstone or at Adam Felber once you download the app. Or keep an eye on our Facebook page or our Twitter feeds, and you'll know when the next show is coming up.
On the Facebook page or the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone website, right?
That's exactly right. Go to www.stereo.com/at Paula Poundstone at Adam Felber, and then you can get started, and you'll be taken right to our pages. Remember, Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. We're having live audience interactive episodes on Stereo pretty much once a week now. So join us.